Hampton Roads traffic, 4293 Juliet, final for runway 28, Hampton Roads traffic.
They landed sideways?
Yeah.
They should put that wind correction there because that's what blows the seals.
Yeah.
All right, is that how a soft fuel landing is supposed to be?
Nope.
All right.
I need to keep that front tire off.
Well, why are you taking off with full flaps? No touch and goes. Cut it.
No
Cut it. Yeah. All right, so I don't know. Tyler tends to, let me take the controls.
You got controls?
Yeah, anytime you have a soft field landing, you do not quit it until you are told to.
Oh.
Okay? So, like I said, I had some improper stuff, and we're cleaning all that stuff up. So, therefore, with that, just back taxi for soft field takeoff. Okay. All right, so with that, pretty much.
Road traffic, Texas 278, top of my gears, 4 miles to the
what I want you to do is when you're coming in, you're way high. Okay.
Yeah.
First of all.
I was on this one.
So
normally I'm too low.
So the thing is that flaps are fuel pump can stay on, mixture's good, and retrim yourself, so then you'll be ready to go once we get up there. Okay? So what you want to come in is just come in just like a normal landing. Don't worry about anything else. Come in just like a normal landing.
Okay.
As you're coming in, you're bringing power out. You're going to bring it down to about 12 to 1300 RPM, and then just leave it in there. And then you transition for the flare kind of idea. You're going to kind of just hold it, let it float, and then just flare it minute by minute by minute. So walking it down with the flare, and you'll notice once you touch down, just lock that back yoke and just hold it, and let it roll the wheelie. You got the right idea. You know what you're doing, to do it, but you didn't do it because you just kind of gave up and just, okay, I'm done. All right, so just let it roll. And once the rolling, he wants no more rolling because you demonstrated the proper procedure, then pretty much, then you can release the back pressure, okay?
So,
and then don't think that you're taking right away. Okay, so everybody's programmed. You as a student pilot should be programmed in your head. Anytime I do solo, no touch and goes, okay?
No touch and goes.
No touch and goes, right? So you always have to do taxi backs and take back off. So even when you get to your airports, no touch and goes. So that's the thing is that a lot of the newer instructors are all about touch and goes, but the FAA says, hey, no touch and goes for solo people.
Gotcha.
Okay? And they just disregard it because they're used to touch and goes all the time. And yeah, with the instructor, yes, you can do touch and goes all day long. Right?
Okay.
So the reason why I'm kind of getting after you because one of the guys we sent he came from another flight school from Florida about a month ago for his check ride right before Christmas. Oh my gosh, he ripped him a new one about the touch and go thing, about basically, all right, I told you to soft field landing. What are you doing? Basically, he cleaned up, you forgot your flaps, and he's like punching in, taking off. He's like, why are you taking off? I didn't even see a soft field landing, and you're already taking off, kind of thing. He gave him another chance to come back around and do it and show it. So he passed it, but he ripped him a new one about that. And that's the other thing is that he was screaming that there's no touch and goes for a student pilot. So, that's why I'm kind of giving you some of these proof ups when you go to the examiner so it doesn't catch you off guard. Because he'll be over here barking at you. He's like, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? Kind of thing. And then you don't want that to kind of throw your game off. We are clear.
Hampton Roads traffic, 4293 Juliet, crossing runway 0220, Hampton Roads traffic.
All right, so we'll have to work out a little bit more of that soft field landing with you. Let's see the soft field takeoff, and then we'll come back for short field landing, okay?
Okay.
On the short field landing, I'll have you touch down on the big white bars, and then don't forget that procedure, right? What's your procedure for a short field landing?
Short field landing?
Yeah. So after you touch down, what do?
After we touch down on the short field landing, we got to bring our flaps back down.
Okay.
And then we get on the brakes.
Okay. And how do you brake? Stomp it?
No, we progressively brake until...
Okay, so start very light, get heavier until you're very slow, and then you can crank it in, and you'll never get a skidding. The problem is you don't want to skid this airplane because it's going to be like a sleigh. What does a sleigh do? It just keeps on going, right? So you're not actually giving it any benefit by locking up the brakes and skidding the tires because you're not stopping. You're still going for a ride.
Right.
So this way, the smaller pressure that you put initially starts slowing the airplane down. As you get a little slower, guess what? Your brakes are more efficient at a slower speed. As you get more power, slows it down even more. And then towards almost while you're stopped, that's when you get the most maximum braking effort in there, and then you'll stop on a dime.
Gotcha.
So that's kind of the most preferred. I actually won Hampton University there nationals with that technique.
Oh, wow.
Yep. So the flight team, this was about 16, 17 years ago.
Okay.
So that's kind of the thing is, and I at first was trying to research, okay, what's the best way to stop, okay? Well, some people say, oh, pulse the brakes, but what if you hammer it and release, and hammer it, release, then now you make a stop sign from your tire, because you got a flat spot, flat spot, flat spot. So that's kind of the idea too. All right, so we'll do soft field takeoff.
All right. Out. There we go. Hampton Roads traffic 4293 Juliet, taking off runway 28 Hampton Roads traffic.
We are clear on this side, we're clear down the runway, so, okay.
Pump is on.
How you looking?
Good to go. Fuel pump's on. Lights on. Everything's on. Go here.
Okay, so soft field takeoff.
Soft field takeoff. Yeah, we got our flaps up.
How do you roll onto the runway?
On a soft field? Really?
Yep.
So we never started a soft field. We always did it after landing a soft field.
Okay.
And then,
well,
yeah, so we always did it from landing.
Okay.
And then we would just go into,
don't stop, because when you stop, you sink in the mud. So keep it rolling. As you apply power, start decreasing the back pressure, because you don't want to smack the tail. So put about halfway. There you go, perfect. And keep that. Yeah, that nose is riding a wheelie right now.
Yep.
And then the airplane, don't rotate, just wait, and the airplane will lift off by itself. See how it lift off? Now bring the nose down to a straight level. Okay. That was pretty good. Okay.
Looking for our 85, is it?
86, yeah. Okay.
There we go.
VY, yeah. All right.
And are you going to tell me when?
You're not any obstruction, so once you get a good climb, yep. The only one that's obstruction is the short field takeoff.
Short field, yep.
Yeah. But that was actually pretty good. The only thing that I kind of dinged you on was the back pressure. If you didn't practice it that way, okay, we're going to kind of, that's how you're supposed to demonstrate to him.
Okay.
When you go to the check ride, he's going to back taxi you on the runway sometimes, so therefore you would even hold it back while you're back taxiing.
Oh, okay.
Right. What sometimes he does too is as you finish that soft field landing, he has you keep on rolling. He'll help you to reduce, or he'll tell you to reduce the flaps, and then he'll say, okay, now start the soft field takeoff from this position, and then he'll continue on. So maybe that's what you guys have practiced.
Yeah, we practiced, so we came in for the soft field landing.
Yep, and then took off after.
And then took right off.
So he does that on the check ride sometimes. Sometimes he has you kind of back taxi or stop and then take back off with a soft field technique.
Gotcha. Okay. That's interesting. I'm glad I got it all on camera, because I go back and study this stuff.
Good, good. Like I say, I also try to be instructive in these proc checks so you can learn something from it, take something away, because you're more or less where you need to be, but I'm trying to fine tune you because around the corner is check ride time, you know?
Right. Hampton Roads traffic 4293 Juliet, downwind for runway 28 Hampton Roads traffic.
And the faster we can kind of amend things and figure them out, the better for you, because the more that you fly, you can kind of practice it the right way and the way that it needs to be done. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do a short field landing, which is going to be on the big white bars.
Big white bars. Now, I start my, that's almost like my beam the numbers right here, right? Tyler was saying that instead of using the numbers, I use...
Yeah, you can shift it back, because that's what they're doing with the examiners. They're shifting it down the runway so then you're not taking out the approach runway lights. Because some airports, they have like this whole big antenna is full of lights before the threshold.
Yep.
And then some people come too low and snag wheels on it. So this way, to be more safe, they displaced it for you guys. So, and then the other thing is that bars in themselves are 200 feet long, so it's a perfect way to measure it. If you touch down within the white, then they know you hit the spot. Okay, so that's how they grade you also.
Hampton Roads traffic 4293 Juliet, base for runway 28, Hampton Roads traffic. Hampton Roads traffic 4293 Juliet, final for runway 28, Hampton Roads traffic. I missed it.
Even if you miss it, just stand it normal, and then yeah, you're letting just slam it. Just once you touch down, lock it up. Finish your procedure. There you go. So here's the thing. He has given people. Go ahead and start stopping. Yeah, finish it up. What do? Aerodynamic braking.
Okay.
And then gently, more, come to a stop. There you go. Good. Okay, let's taxi off. All right, so what I'm going to do is definitely needs a little bit more work on short field and soft field landings. The takeoffs weren't bad at all, okay? So they were actually pretty good. I'll give you those. So let's kind of focus on those to kind of clean them up, okay? And then with pretty much the idea of the soft field, when you're touching down, you got to have a little power. Okay, you got to be very buoyant and just kind of touch down gently, not affirm, and don't release the back pressure. You tend to once you touch down, you're like, okay, I'm done.
Right.
You just release it, and then it's all sloppy, and then the planes shift forward, all that stuff. You don't want that, right?
I just want to keep holding.
So yeah, once you touch down, just lock it in and hold it. And then in a soft field, you're going to kind of hold it there because you want the wheelie. In a short field, you're going to even pull back more because that's aerodynamic braking. You're putting all the weight on the main wheels. Guess where the brakes are? On the main wheels.
Right.
So as you're applying brakes, you're putting all the weight there so you have more response.
Okay.
What happens in the car if you slam on a brake? Everybody launches forward, right? Same idea with an airplane. So this way, as you're pulling it back, you're keeping people back in their seats. On the airliner, you flew airliners, right?
Yes.
When they touch down, you almost feel like they just jolt you forward.
Yes.
Well, that's the first officer landing. And that's the first officer slamming the brakes because he wasn't taught any better.
Gotcha.
Right? And therefore, yeah, they put reverse thrust and slam the brakes. That's why you amplifies everything goes, ugh. But this way, when you're pulling it back, you're kind of keeping the distribution of the airplane, you're stopping it faster, and it's more comfortable for you as a pilot and your passengers. Okay. So there's a reason why things are done the way they are sometimes.
Gotcha. That's a great explanation.